slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Comics Asylum Live with Stephen J. And we have a special guest. Welcome to the Asylum, Jeffrey. How you doing?
Doing awesome. How are y'all tonight?
Not too bad, not too bad. So we'll start with you, Jeffrey, because you're our esteemed guest. How has your week been?
It's been a week. It's been really busy. Doing a lot of things. So I'm part of the Washington Area Film Critics Association.
Sweet.
And we just finished doing our voting for our best of the year, which means the studios are like, here, make sure you watch our stuff so you get nominated with your short attention spans and you can put this down for all the categories. So it's been an onslaught of trying to watch movies that haven't come out yet, and you know that everyone can see in the theaters. Like a bunch of stuff is hitting on Christmas like it always does. So it's okay, do I go to this screening? Do I wait and watch it at home? So it's a lot of trying to watch as much as possible. And sometimes it's really hard to do all that. And it's like, all right, I can make it on 3 hours of sleep. And, you know, it's Christmas time. So I'm trying to get all my best of the list done for myself, cranking out a few more podcasts and all that fun stuff. So nobody cares. It's just busy stuff. And, but that's what's been going on with me.
Very good, very good. And Jay, what you been up to? Some big interviews.
Well, you know what? Yeah, it's funny you should mention it, right? Like, because yesterday I was on the podcast with Carlos of the Badass Reviews, and of course our good friend JP over at Thundercast Classics, and we actually had the privilege of chatting with Sarah Frazetta. Of course, she runs the Frazetta Girls. She is the one of the principals, and man, have they got a figure that we're going to be talking about tonight? Like, seriously, let's get through from some of the other stuff that happens, but we are definitely going to be talking about the Frazetta Girls and what they're up to, because honestly, it was some crazy things going on with action figures these days. It's absolutely nuts.
Excellent. So you know what? Let's hop to what was on the thumbnail. I was going through YouTube and on Blue Sky, and I came across the Invincible Season 3 trailer. And I have to admit, I did not read one issue of Invincible at all. So I'm coming into it as a comic book guy. Yeah, because you know I was raising children at that time, and so it was just not on my radar. But I was introduced to it by Vaughn, who is a friend of the channel and part of Comics Asylum, and it was mayhem. When I was reading it, it was like Kirkman and Otley were just it was stuff that you had never seen before. The Boys, you know, was a contemporary, and I guess when it comes to like the gore factor, they're kind of close. But when I'm probably gonna get this wrong, when the Viltrumites are having their all-out war, it's not sanitized at all.
No.
At all.
I think Invisible came out first, didn't it? I think it was in the late 90s, wasn't it? Or was it?
It's possible. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, because I remember at the time when it was announced, I was like, okay, this is not fair. This is just my opinion. This might be an unpopular opinion, but at the time when it was announced, Image had this standing rule that there was going to be no superhero comics in Image, and I was looking, I was like, isn't this kind of hypocritical right now? But I think the subject matter, yeah, and I think that the subject matter though treated superheroes like real people, and I think that was the key, right? To get the book was just so well done, as we all know, right? And the subject matter itself is like these people, like superheroes are always put on this pedestal that they're, you know, mortals and gods and things like that, right? But you realize they're just regular people, you know, and that's what the boys picked up on that, and so many other comics since have really like followed through with that. So again, it was a fresh air at the time.
The Boys was 2006, so it came 3 years after Invincible.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
Right.
There you go. So
And for me, it's interesting that you mentioned that, Jay, because the thing that I gathered by watching Invincible and not reading it the first time through was it combined two of my favorite heroes, probably two of the most iconic heroes, into one property. It's Spider-Man if he was Superman, essentially. Right?
Yeah.
And so you've got like the one thing about Spider-Man is like, and you're seeing it with the Into the Spider-Verse stuff. I've always argued this, but he's everybody, right? But I've always argued that like he's like the first kind of like really popular black superhero, even though he wasn't, because all the stuff that is stereotypically, you know, what you would consider like black narrative type stuff, he had to deal with, you know, never had money, chased by the police, no respect, broken home, you know, through gunfire, like all these things that, and he had undercover wit. Jeffrey, I think you know where I'm going with this. You could feel what I'm saying, right?
Right.
And so Miles Morales is just like a natural progression of what Peter Parker has always been. And I think Invincible does a great job of capturing what the essence of what made Spider-Man incredibly relatable, and then the iconic kind of, you know, granddaddy of the superheroes type stuff with Superman. And Kirkman and Otley did a fantastic job weaving that narrative.
Yeah. Oh wow, the chat's on fire right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Corey Walker too, and Invincible.
Oh yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
No, absolutely, 100%.
Absolutely. So let's go with Pedro. Pedro says, "Hello all," and you know it's December, so the Mariah Carey icon is absolutely appropriate.
All I want
for Christmas.
Yeah, maybe it's just a bit too revealing there, but I think it falls in line with what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So it's all.
I think Nick Cannon's still in that category too, because I think he wants her back, but I could be completely wrong. Frank Rivera, hello everyone, let's go. Nerd with a suit, I'm back chilling. Before back to playing Indiana Jones.
I heard that's a great game. I heard it's a great game. Oh my god!
I've seen it. It looks great, and just waiting to hear what it's like. Chubby Teddy Monster Productions, guys. What is the deal with Power Princess, dude? I want to finish Void. You're gonna have to fill me in on that because that went straight over my head.
Marvel Legends, Build-A-Figure, Void, and it seems like some of the 2024 waves had one figure that was like, yeah, you're not going to get this one. All the rest of them, you know, you can hang around, wait like I did on Black Friday. I cleaned up and got most of the Build-A-Figure Zabu wave for $15. I was happy about that. Cable was the one on that wave. It was like, good luck. You're going to have to pay $55.
Yeah,
Power Princess. Yeah, Power Princess was the one. And she was a real oddity because back last year, 2022, you could just kick back and go, oh, I'll see him later. Oh, wow. Ollie's is giving away figures for $10, giving away. And Ross has these figures for $8. So everybody's who waited, you know, it's a figure Russian roulette thing. Now, granted, it's not always going to work, but Power Princess was this is not going to work. You're going to have to pay upwards of $100 to get this figure. And what happened? A lot of people were like, oh, she'll work fine for my custom 6-inch scale Wonder Woman because McFarlane's doing 7-inch. So everybody grabbed her, some to complete the Squadron Supreme and others to just simply make a Wonder Woman. And so she's hard to find. And of course, as part of a Build-A-Figure wave, if you're missing a figure, you can't complete a Build-A-Figure. So they've re-released Cable, or they have him coming back out. So if you've missed him earlier, you get another crack. Power Princess has not been resolicited for another crack to finish the Void and just complete your Squadron Supreme. So that's what's going on there.
Yeah, and you know, Jeff, you along with some other toy tubers are probably gonna get the scapegoat for what's happening with Hasbro right now, because everybody who's been reporting on like Ollie's and all these clearances and I think Hasbro's going to look for some scapegoats pretty soon. They're going to say it was the two toy tubers' fault. It was all them guys waiting, telling people to wait for clearances. It was Jeffrey's fault.
It was that $25 price hike. That's what did it.
That's what
I had no problem paying $20 every other month, and they decided let's shoot it up to 25. I was like, no.
Yeah, it got worse up here. An average Marvel Legends figure up here is $35 if you're lucky. $40 here Canadian usually.
Don't forget our tax. Don't forget our tax.
Oh, but apparently, thanks to our oh so smart prime minister, we're gonna get taxes off for the next 2 months, which is a stupid idea because it's just throwing everything into chaos. How the hell do you fix that in your tax? Like accountants are gonna have the worst time this year. It's gonna be the absolute mess. But anyway, I digress. Let's not get into that. We're not supposed to be talking about this.
We'll hit a few more comments, and then we'll get into the trailer. So Daydreamer, yo, Lila got 2 Jinx figs. Thanks for the link. Everyone, please collect in good health. Thanks, Daydreamer. Chubby Teddy Monster Productions. Hello, everyone.
What's going on?
The nerd with the suit. Some people say the show is actually better than the source material. So I will say that Vaughn, who has read the entire run, he says obviously he loves the book, but he says the cartoon, the show is fantastic. Like it's one of the best adaptations ever. So I think for me, we're gonna get to a comment, the next one, where it's like, dude, read Invincible. I hear you loud and clear. So at some point I will, but I think that they're kind of hitting all of the high points of the run and giving you an abridged version without cheating you from what it seems so far of too much of the good stuff. Now, Jeffrey, you could chime in and say yay or nay.
So I was actually able to read the entire run before the show. And I love Invincible. It is one of those properties. It's like, oh, wow. Somebody beside DC and Marvel can put together an excellent comic book series. And I think it really works so well because it has an ending. And
yes, it has an ending.
There's no, oh, here's a new writer, and I'm gonna do totally everything different and change up everything you thought you knew about these characters. I want to deconstruct. It's none of that. It's just Kirkman's vision with those characters the whole way through, and it's awesome because you don't have to deal with that foolishness that you would see if another writer gets onto it or several other writers. It's just his. And I think what the show is doing so great, first and foremost, is they're adapting the source material. And it's like, whoa, this is crazy. Who would have thought adapting something from a comic book just straight up and not changing it would work? And it's working so well. And that next level that your friend Vaughn was mentioning is, you can play whatever playlist. I was about to say CD and date myself, but you can listen to whatever playlist, but actually watching the action unfold with their great soundtrack that they put onto the series and just seeing it animated, it really does take it to like reading and kind of, having your brain process these fights and then actually seeing it play out on the screen is so cool. And I just think they've done an amazing job with it. In every comic book based thing, if they're going to adapt something, should do that. And just don't overthink it. Just do what's already been done. There's a fan base just willing to take it in. And I think people who read Invincible won't complain about it because they're doing the source material and they're doing a great job of it. And they've got so much more to go. We're heading to season 3, but it's so much more Invincible that they can just keep doing as long as they keep doing what they've been doing so far.
And a show has made it when it starts to become several memes. The one where Omni-Man has pummeled Mark to a pulp, right? That was showing up quite a bit.
It's not just a meme. It's become part of the lexicon.
Oh,
and
definitely.
as well, it's transitioned into multiple things. Like Mortal Kombat has Omni-Man. You know what I mean? And he does that thing where the subway thing. As one of his finishing moves. It's crazy. So
that's a nasty finishing move. Good Lord.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's kick into the vid and let's get some reaction once we've had taken a look at it. So that looked pretty good.
Yeah, great stuff. It's really crazy how one of the great things about Invincible, which is it's always been an amazing series, is how they dive deep into the repercussions of being a superhero, right? And the type of morality that surrounds it. I mean, in the last season, someone who could, well, spoilers ahead, jeez Louise, a person who could shift between multiverses, right, became his biggest threat, right? And when it finally came down to it, Mark had to choose between his family and what his I guess moral implications, right? His actual where does his where did, again, it's that question that every single superhero comes to the point of: where do you cross the line, right? Where do you decide that this person is worth ending versus this person? Like, where just, and that's actually what Cecil said too, right? Like, some of us, like some people get put down, some people get rehabilitated, some people get reacclimated to society, right? I don't think Mark was really given that choice in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like, like, what would any of us do if your mother and your brother are that kind of situation? What would you do, right? What would happen? Crazy, great overall story writing and everything.
Yeah, definitely. And I think too that they also kind of wink at themselves, because I know there was at least one episode last year or last season, in season 2, where they made fun of the animation, and I was just like, and they went fully into it, and I loved it. Yeah,
we'll do the wide panel shots so no one can hear what we're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Animate the mouse. And Jay, to your point, they did a really good job with the Amber and Mark relationship, because I feel like so often the girlfriend, and more so just because most of the superheroes are dudes, is painted as kind of the bad guy. Oh, you're always trying to stop the hero from saving people. You're being a jerk. No, he can't go out for date night and go to the farmer's market because he's got to save this planet from exploding. And I thought they did a great job of not making Amber some shrill killjoy to our hero, because it's natural for us as the fans, as the readers of these shows and comics, to side with the hero. Like, why are you so why don't you understand what this guy's doing? And I thought they did a great job of not painting her like that, and just let her have her own real wants and desires that made sense and were reasonable, and not like, come on, dude, what are you doing? You know what you signed up for.
Yeah, totally.
But it's interesting that you say that, because when the first League of Superheroes was finished, right, when they were killed, I can't remember the speedster's name, but his relationship with, I think it was not Olga, but anyways, his relationship with his significant other is exactly what you said. She actually could not deal with the fact that he would move on in a second. And as a matter of fact, he sort of explained to her, is like, yeah, people are just too slow for me, right? But you're the first person who grounds me and keeps me here. That's the reason why I've stayed with you for so long. Because usually my relationships are bang, 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 I'm gone, right? But after he was gone, all of a sudden she realized, it's like, you know what? Like, he was doing the work that no one else could do, right? And it's interesting that there is that, at least there's an acknowledgement of that, right? And now, but as you said, we're talking about a series which is based on real people, which is great, right? And I think that's really one of the parts of the success of this franchise.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to hop back into some more comments, and then I have a little bit of I'm not sure if anyone's aware of this, but there's some kind of breaking news in the Invincible universe regarding comic books, but we'll get to it after some comments. So we've got Nolan. Hi, Jay, Steve, Jeff, and the chat. How you doing?
Glenn.
Yeah, the Boys original comic is actually kind of bad, and that's one where they've made changes, and I didn't read the Boys either, because again, I was in like my child raising days, but they've made real improvements on the source material. That's just my humble opinion.
Yeah, the Boys are way up there, though. Like, it's way out there.
Oh, it is way up there. Jeffrey, thanks for all the heads up on the Amazon deals.
Happy to help.
Shao Kahn, hello there, everyone. Nolan is getting a hi to Nolan and a hi to Kenzo. Hello, yay, comic night. Nerd with the suit. The Boys and Invincible, both good shows, and is proof that a deconstruction of Superman is easier to get past when it's not Superman. Hello. Yeah, I think Superman is so iconic, and I think DC is so reticent to get him out of Metropolis and separate him from Lois. Like, one of the things that I loved, again, showing my age, was when Byrne reworked him in the mid 80s and had him in space, where he could just have some adventures, not have to worrying about holding back his power, but also add another dimension to who he is. That's just me personally. And because he's so iconic, all these deconstructions, there's enough that kind of anchors you to Superman, but allows you to tell different stories that you're not allowed to tell with Superman.
Hey Steve, did you read much of the DC Rebirth Superman where Tomasi and Jurgens were writing? And
I read some of it, and then into the New 52. I read bits of all of that kind of stuff.
So I thought the New 52 was trying so hard to be like, this is our different Superman. Like, I'm here to read Superman, not your revamp. Let's change everything about Superman. Because he said everybody has done that now. It's not like this is breaking news and it's like, great, here's another take on Superman. Because every universe has their take on Superman. And I'm reading a DC Superman to read about Superman. I think the Rebirth run of Superman was excellent because they weren't shying away. This is Superman. And when I read, they're going to bring in Superman's kids, like, this is going to be awful. It was so good because they just embraced it. And it was like, yeah, this is how Superman and Lois would be if they were parents. And it was so well done because, like, yes, this makes sense from everything we read with these characters all this time. And I think that was the way they could evolve and do something different without it just feeling like, oh, you guys are just doing something different. Oh, he's got electrical powers. He's got a mullet. That felt like, this is cool. This is something that made sense. And I'm still so salty at Brian Michael Bendis for, let me age him up. And he just ruined everything that was so good about that Rebirth run of Superman.
You know, it's kind of interesting because you'd mentioned that Invincible has an end, right? Mm-hmm. And that's my beef kind of with comics in general. Like, don't get me wrong, I love continuity. I love long form storytelling. But when you have a character that's been around for 80 years, or someone like Spidey who's been around for over, like, I guess, approaching 60 now, if not over 60, you can't Charlie Brown them. You have to have them get out of public school or whatever that time frame there is. Because if you bring in someone like Miles, I'll just use Spider-Man as an example and then switch back to Superman. If Miles Morales comes in and Spider-Man's now the mentor, but he still is Hard Luck Parker, there's no difference between the two. Like, Miles, like, so what, right? Like, that was the thing with Kid Flash and Wally, and Barry. They were different Flashes. Same power set, different Flashes. And the fact that the Superman, the latest one with, I think his name's Tyler Hodgkin, the latest series where he's got the two kids and he's an adult. He's a big adult. Like, that shows the growth of the characters. And you can then enjoy, and not only that, it's kind of nice to see your hero reflected a little bit in your growth as well, too. So you see that with Invincible. Mark gets the kid brother, has a level of responsibility. Then, spoiler alert, for anyone who, like me, who hasn't read the series yet, he becomes a dad and he gets married and has different responsibilities than when he was, college-aged Mark. And I think that kind of arc is what comics misses, because think about it. How often can Batman put the Joker in jail before the rest of the Justice League goes, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing with Marvel and DC's fear of letting characters die for real. You know what I mean? And
Jay, don't go there, because that's a new number one coming after they die.
That's the thing, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to say, right? But it's different now than it was back then, because back when, like, I think we all all of us in our generation, we've seen Superman just stay the same age perpetually for the last 35 years. And finally, now that they're multiverses, all of a sudden it's okay to kill them off, like in this universe or that universe or whatever, and reboot them as you feel fit, right? It's weird that way. But I agree with you. Like, Mayday Parker right now in Miles Morales and Into the Spider-Verse, it's a nice look at how would Peter Parker be as a father. You know what I mean? How like what was his relationship with Mary Jane? It was rocky. They had a divorce. They had a separation. You know what I mean? It was really cool to see, again, putting some real, grounded ideas that these are real people. They have real problems. Not to say that Peter Parker, just like a lot of us, was probably the most relatable superhero because he did have real problems, right? But now he's growing up exactly the way you said, right? And it's really cool to see that as we are basically the superheroes are finally growing up the way we grew up, and
it's funny, Jay, that you're saying that because there's obviously the 616 universe for anyone who's like deep in the comics, and that Peter Parker just seems to be stuck. But they have the Ultimate Universe where he's got a beard, he's older, he's got the family life. He and MJ can actually be together. There's no editorial kind of meddling, and that comic is one of the best comics of 2024. I think it came out this year. And you're right. You're not stuck in a certain time frame where the character actually has no personal growth. And you can tell different stories. Because when you think about it, what's Spider-Man on? Like almost issue 700, Amazing Spider-Man? You got 700 issues you can go back and read of young Spidey. Let's get some other stories.
Yeah, well, totally. I totally agree with that.
I feel like I'm the dissenting voice in this because I think,
come on, bring it on.
The great thing with comic books is when it works, not like a Bendis situation where a writer comes in and I am nuke bombing everything that happened because I want to do this. Like I want to make my square peg fit into this triangle. It doesn't work when you do it that way. But I think if you get like somebody on a new title, and I mean, geez, X-Men was floundering until Chris Claremont came in and he was like, here's how it's going to be for 16 years. And, Fabian Nicieza, did I say it right? All right, great.
Yep.
He came through Scott Lobdell. And at the time, I was like, this isn't Chris Claremont. But I'm really like, oh, that stuff was really cool because they were doing different stuff than what Chris Claremont was doing. And I think these books can still, based on the strength of the characters, they don't have to be like me. I kind of like the comfort food of, yeah, I'm seeing a lot more gray, but Cyclops is still rocking that brown hair and he's not getting male pattern baldness. That's cool. Keep him frozen in time. I am looking at myself in the mirror and go, gosh, I look so much different from 16 years ago. But right. Chris Claremont, Dave Cockrum, and John Byrne Cyclops, he's the same. He may have a little 5 o'clock shadow. He hadn't shaved, but I dig that. It's really contingent on the editorials, hiring writers who have good visions. Like when Grant Morrison came on X-Men, and it was like, yeah, do something different. Morrison said, bet. And then Marvel's like, oh, whoa, we didn't want you to do this. This is way too different. Let's reel all this back in. But I really like that Morrison era because Morrison said, I am not going to make these X-Men look like mutants. They're going to look like the freaks that they say they are when they're whining. Rogue's like, oh, poor me. Goodness gracious. Nobody can. I'm like, yeah, but you still look like a supermodel. Whatever. And Cyclops, oh, if I take these glasses off, it's going to be. But Morrison and all his different artists, they were having people running around with just no skin, just crazy stuff, beat, and they didn't look like supermodels. It was awesome. And then and of course, when they have bad writers, it's let's skip this, and I will leave an X-Men book when they kill off Cyclops or do something terrible. Like, yeah, I'm out for a while.
Yeah.
But when we get like what we got, where the Utopia era, yeah, Cyclops is uniting all the X-Men. They're in San Francisco now. They're not at the mansion, and everybody who's a mutant is hanging out now, following Cyclops' lead. That's really cool and refreshing. And then when they do something dumb and let's blow it up because Civil War works so well with the rest of the Marvel universe, we can do the same thing with X-Men. That sounds terrible, guys. It is terrible. I'm out. Oh, and Brian Michael Bendis is going to be the writer. I'm really out. So I think that's the fun of comics when you can switch it up to a creative team like DNA when they got on the Guardians. Nobody was scary about those characters, and they made it work. And then Bendis came, and that's the thing. Bendis comes and ruins everything. But when there's new creative teams then they have a vision. I saw somebody in the chat was going, Superman hadn't recovered from Bendis. Superman's actually gotten really good again because Joshua Williamson's on it, and he's bringing fresh ideas. LexCorp is now Superman Corp, and it's really fun. He's doing different things. It's not tied down to everything like, oh, Perry White's the mayor. He's not chief. And Lois is actually the editor of the Daily Planet. And I don't like the fact that she's Superwoman. I think that's a little bit too much. She can just be an awesome editor of the Daily Planet. But they're doing different things. And I think that's where comics is fun. They don't have to evolve so much in how they look and how they're aging. I mean, geez, I don't want to see Bruce Wayne on his deathbed. Where's Alfred? Alfred's been dead 30 years. Like, I still can't stand they killed Alfred off. It's like, But yeah, anyway, I talked on too long. Go ahead.
No. Because I'm going to back you up on this, right? We may sound like we disagree, but we actually don't. And I'll use Nightwing as a perfect example. Nightwing starts out as what? 10-year-old kid, right? And he is one of the standout characters in DC. He's probably one of my favorite. And he's not Robin anymore. And I was a huge, and still am, even though I don't read them, Teen Titans fan. And when he went from Robin to Nightwing, that transition with Wolfman and Perez was amazing. And then even with Absolute Power, where basically Nightwing kind of takes over leading everybody in some of the rallying cries. And I can't remember what character leans over to Batman, and then Batman goes, "That's my boy." Like, it's that kind of maturation or change in a character over 60 years. And not Robin, like going back in time here, but Nightwing, Dick Grayson doesn't need children or anything like that to age him up. But what I'm saying is, like, you change it. So like Peter Parker doesn't need kids. He just doesn't have to be broke. You can't be that smart and be broke still.
Right.
And you can still have danger, still have interpersonal stuff, because Lord knows billionaires have problems too, right? I'm not saying that he has to be a billionaire, but just keep him grounded. That's so he's still Parker.
The space shuttle in the air.
I see where Jeff's coming. I see where you guys are talking about.
Yeah,
and there's always going to be a part of us, as again, like this generation, that just harkens back to the idea that Superman needs to be like this. Peter Parker has to be like this. Like, don't change my pizza because that's the way I like my pizza done. You know what I mean? There's always going to be that sort of idea, but it's always, as Jeff said, it's always refreshing to see somebody else's take on it, right? But there's always going to be a place for classics, for legacy, for the that thing, and that's what's beautiful about television and cartoons. You know what I mean? You can always, like, Batman the Brave and the Bold. You can have the Batman Beyond. You know what I mean? You can continue those stories as you see fit. And those stories actually will never disappear, because one great thing about American comic book companies is they like to hold on to their IPs. So basically, they will hold on to these things until they go into public domain, and that's basically what's everyone's in the industry's fear is, because Steamboat Mickey is pretty much out there right now. He's paddling boats. He's freaking having relationships with supermodels now. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna do whatever he's gonna do, and eventually, Bob Kane's Batman is gonna start swinging around town tomorrow. Doing whatever anybody wants him to do, right? And at that point, people are allowed to do whatever they. And you know what? You can always keep that, right? But it's these great new stories and these different evolutions of these characters that is opening the path up for newer fans to get into it, and older fans just to enjoy the ride. And I think that there's room enough for everything. But I really would like to start seeing these younger heroes really being given their own serials. You know what I mean? Because it really is, at some point, just like evolution, it might be time at some degree to actually let the children take over. You know what I mean? Because again, we have, like, Superman's got a kid. You know what I mean? As you said, Nightwing's a bona fide hero, right? There's the Teen Titans are no longer teens, right? There's a point at which that part needs to start taking over, and we're starting to see that evolution ever so slowly, but it is probably still going to start happening.
We'll get into it in a second, because I think that's what the MCU is trying to do with their Young Avengers, right? we'll get into that, but there's something I do want to show before we just to conclude our look at Invincible. And for anyone who was a fan of the series, got some great news for you. Skybound Entertainment has just announced that 2025 will be the year of Invincible. They are coming up with a Battle Beast #1, written by Kirkman and art by Otley. And let me show you the artwork. Here's the cover for it. And they've got some interiors as well, too. So apparently this is going to take place between issue 19 and issue 55 of the original series. And it looks great. Cool.
Yeah.
It looks great. Yeah.
As a character.
Jeffrey. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
No. Go for it.
No, I just wanted to see, since Jeffrey has, he's the Invincible aficionado here. What are your thoughts on this?
Battle Beast is great. When I was reading Invincible, and they've done several spinoffs already. I think it's Guardians of the Globe. They've done some really fun spinoffs, and I was reading. I was like, gosh, we need a company to make all these characters in the figures because their designs are so awesome. And Diamond Select's doing them, but they're not quite hitting. They're really trying to stick to the style of the comic, which is fine for that. But I think if they were to do just like a kind of a generic Marvel Legends style where they're the outfits and not based so much on the art style of the comic, they would be amazing because the Diamond Select ones are small and thin. Anyway, but I think Battle Beast is gonna be great. He's a good character. There's so many characters in this universe that they don't have to go, well, let's focus on Mark. What's he doing now? Where they can just go throughout the universe. And I note that Invincible universe tag, so that's really exciting that, oh yeah, we can see more of these different characters who are so cool and so fun to explore. Maybe we'll see an Invincible, cameo every so often, but they don't have to do that. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it too. And the thing with Otley is that his style, when I first was introduced to it, was one where I was like, I'm not sure I'm feeling it, but I love it. I love it now. He just did a Hulk run, which I was kind of not the biggest fan of because of the writing. I didn't quite like the what is it, the spaceship Hulk? Is that the best way to kind of characterize it?
Who was writing that one?
Ooh, that's a good question. And thank goodness they had Immortal Hulk, to kind of like elevate the character. But when he's on Invincible, and I also know that he did some Spidey, he did a Spidey run as well too.
Right. Donny
Cates. And so you could see when with this Battle Beast, he's back in his element. He's totally loving it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that with Battle Beast, it's an interesting character. First of all, the name's just so generic. You know what I mean? Out of all the characters that they create, the one character which you expect to be very generic, in the whole series, because when he first gets in, he's literally just this unstoppable force. You know what I mean? He's just this big, huge beast that just decimates everybody. And later on, his epic battle with one of the greatest of the Viltrumites. That takes its toll too, right? And as to a certain degree, but it's now that we can explore their deeper culture and where that is, because we do find out what ends up happening to his race after the whole storyline. So it's now that they're actually reintroducing this Invincible world, this Invincible timeline. It'll be interesting to see that. And going back to an earlier comment that Jeffrey made. And I think Steve made as well. The thing is that there's still a lot that wasn't explained, from the years, after the story's done to the years when the story's truly done, right? So there's still a lot in there, children, families, Viltrumites. I think I'll just put it there. That can just keep going. Right? You can if you can stretch out 40 years of Peter Parker, you can probably stretch out 40 years of Invincible at this point. You know what I mean? Like that's
Oh, for sure.
Easily.
Yeah, the fact that Aunt May's still alive, right? Because
Well, they live forever,
like,
right?
she was probably like 100, really,
Yeah.
like when he first was Spider-Man. And they've de-aged her slightly for the books. But if she can last 60 years, then for sure Mark
Oh,
Stark.
May Parker, yeah.
It's the wheat cake, Steve.
That's true. That is true. Now, I'm going to switch it up a little bit because we're on this vibe and we'd mentioned Young Avengers. Chris Evans is back for Avengers Doomsday. Jay and I have had this conversation in a previous stream about how we feel about RDJ coming back anyway. So, Jeffrey, as the guest, what is your take on Chris Evans, joining the band again for farewell tour?
So I really, really dug the original casting of the Avengers. Huge fan of Chris Evans because I don't remember now all the different actors who were lined up. I was like, why is Chris Evans in this conversation? He was a great Johnny Storm. What are we doing? And then they cast him. I was like, what? He's the worst. And I'm like, oh wow, he's amazing. He's awesome. What was I thinking? And I think with Chris Evans, they set up a way to bring him back whenever they want or need to, or his money's running low after Red One bombs. And it's like, listen, I'll come back for another Avengers movie because those always work. And I think so. And I think a huge problem with this is not with bringing him back, but the fact that they have to. They've done a horrible job with the multiverse saga. And I keep saying this, and I'm just, for everybody who's watched me say this before, apologies because I'm broken record time. I think they really messed up right away when they did the multiverse saga. I think there were other comic book based storylines that they could have adapted that would have made so much more sense and that were set up for them to do, as opposed to, oh yeah, the multiverse. Because I feel like the multiverse was great. Now we have the Fantastic Four. We've got the X-Men. Without really thinking that through, I mean, they could have just brought them in through any kinds of means or chicanery without having to go this convoluted route of the multiverse, which all you have to do is say, hey, and another portal from another world, and all these other characters came through. I think what they could have done that probably would have made a lot of sense is just phase 4 could have been who's succeeding the Avengers, and the Thunderbolts emerge, and they had that big payoff. Oh, shoot, it's Baron Zemo. And then in the fight with Cap Falcon and his crew, one of these Thunderbolts get killed, and oh shoot, it's a Skrull. And then that leads them to a whole phase of the Skrull invasion. And oh man, turns out Black Widow actually didn't die. It was a Skrull at the bottom of this thing, not Natasha. And she's what's happened. And when did she get replaced? So I mean, she's a beloved character. I always thought it was stupid. We got a Black Widow movie coming, and by the way, she's already dead. If they had introduced that she was a Skrull, then oh man, when was she replaced? And oh, she didn't really fall for Bruce Banner. That was the Skrull. Whoa, mind blowing. And you can keep her around because she's seemingly the one character that they could have gone without killing, because everybody else was of retirement age anyway. And I think they could have done that as opposed to this ridiculous multiverse that Loki and only a handful of other shows and movies have been bothered to touch on. So I think that's what's led to them going, we got to press the panic button. Russo brothers, come back and save us. RDJ, come back and save us. And Chris Evans, we need you. And I think if they had just built this up, established those other characters that it seemed like were being handed the keys. Of course, they couldn't have predicted the tragedy with Chadwick Boseman. No. But you had Benedict Cumberbatch, you had Captain Marvel, you had Spider-Man to lead you in. You had another Captain America all set up. If they had focused on these characters better, we wouldn't have needed to go back to the old crew to save the day. And I think you had the opportunity for your young Avengers to rise in that same phase. The Avengers are gone. Who's going to step up to the plate? We've got the Thunderbolts. They're phony. But the young Avengers, they're really trying to do the thing. And if they had done that earlier and worked that in more organically, it would have worked. And, this is me. My idea would work. Shocking. But, if they had just paced this out or thought it through. I always feel like Kevin Feige was on a long Endgame made $1 bazillion vacation. Sure, run through She-Hulk and anything else you guys come up with. I think if they just planned it out the same way, the same level of tension they did with phase 1 through 3, the Infinity Saga, we'd be really excited. I just feel like this is we got to do what we got to do. And we know these guys work. So let's do it. I'm excited, but I kind of feel like they created this mess that they're calling on Downey Jr., the Russos, McFeely, and Chris Evans to come and fix.
Good points. I'm going to throw this at you. Does Downey Jr. as Doom not throw a wrench into the FF?
I see the problem, of course, is going to be he's going to be the focus. And I mean, gosh, they could have just had Cillian Murphy be Doom, and that would have been fine. And I don't think anyone would have complained. Oh, shoot, Robert Downey Jr. is back as Iron Man. Yay, I don't care. It's comic books. I'll go along with it. Just come up with a good enough reason for why he's back. Oh, while he was traveling through time with the Infinity Stones, Captain America said, oh, you know what? I need to bring back my best friend. And there we go. We're all set. But I was like, Dr. Doom's going to be Iron Man. Why? I mean, there's so many different ways you could have brought Robert Downey Jr. back into the fold. Because of who's involved with it, I'm giving them a chance to mess it up. Based on the strength of the rest of the multiverse, that saga, I'm like, it sounds terrible. But I think the Russos, McFeely, aren't going to mess it up to the point where I need to press the panic button. But I do think that you could have just brought him back as Iron Man. Nobody would complain about that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think because I'm a pretty big FF fan, and Reed and Doom's history is so intertwined. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be watching this whole movie kind of with a Spockian eyebrow. Yeah. It'd be like, you better show me. You better show me.
Right. Exactly.
Right? Because if they don't pull it off, to me, it's going to ruin FF. Like you said, the Russos. Let's see, because I think Winter Soldier is my fave out of all the MCU. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, RDJ. But Jay, what do you say, Jay?
I often wonder multiple times over that they should have focus groups before they start fucking writing.
Making these big announcements. Yeah.
Go ahead and announce it. It's okay. Go ahead, announce whatever the hell you want. You have a timeline. Because again, they announce the timelines 10 years in advance. You know what I mean? You've got a timeline. You've got an idea. Great, that's awesome. But you know what? How about you bring in a focus group ahead of time of freaking comic book fans who have been reading this crap for the last 45 years, and then all of a sudden, while you're freaking doing your little powwow, your little script readings and everything like that, all of a sudden, one of the freaking comic book guys is going to say, actually, right? He's going to raise his hand and he's going to freaking do the actually, and they're going to remind you. It's like, yeah, if you try to do that, that's stupid because this and this and this and this and this and this and that. And you can actually you can fix this by doing that. It would be exactly what in 10 minutes, what freaking Jeffrey said, make them all fucking scrolls, right? Yeah. Make them all scrolls. That way they can all die and they can all have their little relationships and scrolls fall in love. Right? And they do this thing, right? And Natasha could be in one of those freaking mind cubes, which will transmit their thoughts into the other brains, and they can still have those thoughts and said, oh shit, I did this, and I can't believe I helped. Look to have that existential crisis where they're like, I can't believe I was part of this, and they used me, and blah blah blah. And let that be a story arc on a TV series, and then let them come back for a movie, and boom, you got a decent story, right? But no, instead they write the whole thing, then they have a focus group, then they realize, oh crap, this movie needs a reshoot. This movie needs to be I need a new director. And it's like, oh my God, $2 billion later, they're like, okay, this is a disaster, right? Instead of literally saving some money, like having an afternoon, feed everybody, bring in a couple sandwiches, have a couple of freaking, the most hardcore, freaking comic book fans in the world, just sit them down and say, You know what? Oh, and make sure that you know everybody gets a voice. You know what I mean? Like get some fans from South America, get some fans from Japan. Get bring in everybody. You already spent $3 billion on these movies anyway. What's a few $100,000 just to bring in fans from everywhere, just to kind of get look, Jeff.
Jay, I have notes. I have notes and notes here. That's what I'd be doing. And I would have a really quick hourly rate because I like here's everything in 40 minutes. Do this, we'll be okay for 10 more years of movies. And and if you guys validate, great. You got there.
Just give the fans some credit. We're not stupid, okay? You can't.
That's what's so crazy with this because for the Infinity Saga, I feel like even the most hardcore Marvel fan was like, I wouldn't have done that, but okay. Like for me, I was so like I rewatched Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and I feel like that is such a great show because they just go with the comic book. And they don't try to reinvent things. They have Hank Pym, they have Wasp as founding members of the Avengers. And it's like, it's great. We got Giant Man and he's insecure, but they're not sledging you over the head like, oh, he's so insecure. It's like, yeah, I'm not as tough as Thor, Iron Man, and Hulk. Let me make myself bigger. And it's so great. It's an awesome dynamic. And then that plays through and they did Black Panther. It's like, you watch that show, it's like, yeah, that's the best this character's been done. And the MCU stuff is really good, but they handled Doctor Doom awesome. The Fantastic Four is great. We have Poker Night with the Fantastic Four. It's great. And they do all these things. It's like, man, if they just had a scroll ship land and who are all these characters and who are these 4 people with 4 on their chest and who are these other guys? They're mutants. What's that? And the scroll ship. How did this happen? Oh, they were in another multiverse and they brought all these characters here. They could have made that so easy. And without having a whole, let's explain the history of the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. That could have been something they knocked out so easy. But Earth's Mightiest Heroes was a show clearly made by comic book fans. And they just sat them down. In the Infinity Saga, they had people like James Gunn who understood the core of these things. And maybe they didn't do it note by note, but it was done in a way it was like, all right, cool. You guys decide to go that direction. Fine. That's really good. And I can go on board with this MCU ship because this is amazing. You're doing great stuff. Out of 20 movies, 3 are the rest are wow, really good job of executing this vision. What's next? The Multiverse Saga. Okay. What do you got? We got Black Widow. She's dead. We got Shang-Chi. Cool, but how does this follow into next? And I think they've done such an awesome job of showing everything's connected with this Multiverse Saga being so, let's throw everything against the wall. Nothing's sticking. Let's do a She-Hulk Attorney at Law show, but our writers don't know anything about law. Maybe Kevin come back from your vacation sooner. And I just feel like they've botched so many things with the Multiverse Saga. It felt like Doctor Strange was the first one. They were like, yeah, we need to do something with this multiverse in Spider-Man. So those two were the only ones that actually cared about the multiverse. And that's why the whole thing is struggling without it.
I will say this to further your point about just talk to people and stick to the source material. Thor: Love and Thunder absolutely butchered what is one of the greatest Thor stories ever. And you could argue that run is top 5 Thor stories. And how do you make and I will argue this, and my cousin Courtney, if you're listening, we have argued this, that Marvel has the MCU. I would even say the comics because they're kind of shifting away from it. They have a villain problem. They've got great villains, but they never do them well on screen. They hit worse than Toronto Blue Jays, right? Like they're like 1 for 10, like terrible.
So Steve, I think the issue is they had a Loki success problem. Loki was so beloved, or not even say beloved. They really people liked Loki, and from the first Thor, oh, he's really cool, interesting, and a bad guy, and then they put him in the Ultimate Showcase. The Avengers, everyone loves Avengers, and Loki's so great. He's so cool in it. And I think had they just not put Loki in Thor 2 and in Thor Ragnarok, people would have been like, oh man, Loki was cool. But because they kept him in, they gave him the Magneto treatment where every X-Men movie had to have Magneto and Mystique as part of the contract, that Loki is so ingrained that, yeah. And then it was, well, what are these other villains that we can introduce, kind of quasi have a real issue, and then we'll redeem them and feature them and stuff like we did with Loki. And Killmonger had reasons, and I think that's the biggest problem. You don't want your villains to have a good point, and they need to have some twisted, yeah, well, I got bullied, and that's why I decided to beat up everybody. We need that. We don't need a, well, the universe is going through this really tough time due to ecological and destruction. If I get rid of half of them, it'll make things better for everybody. That's kind of a dark way to look at it, but I kind of see where you're going with this. Yeah. So many of the villains that we've seen, especially lately, they're trying to introduce a way to Agatha Harkness them. Hey, we can do a spinoff. We don't need spinoffs. We just need bad guys who are bad. That's why I really love what they did with Green Goblin in No Way Home.
Yes.
He was a bad guy. And there was no demon factor to him. Oh, yeah. This guy who you thought was your buddy, I put a little chip in. Made him a bad guy again. Oh, yeah. I took out John. There's nothing. Nobody's clamoring for a Green Goblin TV show or movie. It's that guy was a jerk. And he's still alive, so he can cause problems for any Spider-Man later. And I think that's their biggest problem. They keep trying to make him not so bad, like Hela. Hela should have been just straight up bad. Well, I guess it is bad. Odin locked her away. She's just bad. And I think if they just stop trying to come up with a reason why the bad guy's bad, just make him bad, they'd be better off.
I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I'm Team Vader, not Team Anakin. I thought that Vader he is like the preeminent bad guy because you don't know much about him, but all he does is wreak havoc and do badass stuff. I'm going to choke you from 2 ships away, right? I'm going to have people wet themselves because I'm walking down the hall. I'm not going to go to HR to complain about my boss. He's going to kill me. Like, that is the dude, right? And every kid loved Vader. Now, don't get me wrong, Anakin has his place, all that kind of stuff. But when you talk about like getting a villain, that's what you want. You want that as your template.
There was a popular thing, I think it started around the late 90s, early 2000s, that super villains, all villains, had to have some sort of redeeming factor to them. And it's kind of ridiculous if you really think about it. Like, I'm gonna go into the Master Universe right now. Okay, so if anybody, like, for those of you who watched Revelations and Revolution, there's a point at which redemption should, like, if you're depending on your faith, redemption is for everybody, right? That's again, depending on your faith. There are some religions that there's just no redemption for some people. But if you have a character like Evelyn, who at the end of the storyline ends the universe.
Yes.
Literally ends the freaking universe.
Oh, right there with you. God.
Okay?
Yes.
Like and then here comes the quintessential God being to battle the quintessential evil being. And of course the God being, of course, shows mercy on the evil being. But that's a god forgiving another god, if you will, right? Like in that moment, right? But when it comes down to becoming human again, becoming immortal, and having to live with that, with what you've done, right? Maybe you can survive that, right? Maybe you can figure that out. But everybody around you shouldn't be pretending like it's okay. You know what I mean? Like everybody around you should be like, "Oh, Evelyn's here. That's great.
Yes,
she can help us fix the universe." No, you killed half the
Fisto and Clamp Champ.
Freaking, you killed half the people here. You killed everybody. Like, you know what I mean? It's like and that was what was great about Thanos. What they wrote Thanos so well, because with Thanos, yes, he's maniacal. Yes, he's freaking. He truly believes in what he believes in, but he's unrelenting. He doesn't actually have. He was willing to kill his own. Like killing Gamora showed just how far he was willing to take this. Something he truly cared about, right? But to him, the ends justified the means. And even after he finished his work, like he was ready to die. You know what I mean? He said, "Yes, I've done terrible things. I deserve this." Right? That is, and he says it to himself. He said that is destiny being fulfilled, right? He
That was
literally
his
says,
mission.
"Yeah, this is what I work for, and that is the end that I deserve." Right?
Mhm.
That is a villain. That is somebody who's like, yeah, this guy. And then you saw his younger self, who had not been tempered by. See, there's a really good look at that.
Right,
Right?
right,
That's a
right.
really good look at that. Right?
Mhm.
There was him when he was younger and absolutely driven and totally towards his like freaking blinders on. Did
Yep.
not have any care in the world. Then he got closer to one of his daughters. He lost so many people in this fight. Right? He had a lot of time to think about that. And then, you know what? He started realizing, you know what, there's more to life, but I can't stop. I'm too far into this now to stop. So let's finish the job and let whatever happens happens. And it happened. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, that's what happened. But that Thanos is still around. And then he came and wrecked everybody. Literally went in and wrecked everybody. It was
let me throw this out there. What if Chris Evans comes back as Hail Hydra Cap?
I see. I knew you were going to come there because eventually, because that's actually I believe what a lot. There's so many rumors going around. That's actually what's going to happen, right? I don't know, Jeff. You take it first because like I haven't thought about it.
I hate that idea so much. Unless you bring
You and I
back,
both. You and I both.
unless you bring May, Coulson, the whole crew. Hydra in the MCU is done. It's wrapped and concluded. I mean, they ran it through in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just fine. But Hydra Cap makes no sense. It's a shock to comic book fans. But the MCU is not just for comic book fans at this point. It's about everyone who's enjoyed these Marvel movies. And that doesn't make sense. And you also don't need to waste the time doing another, we faked you out. We've already seen Chris Evans. Oh no, it's not Cap, it's Johnny Storm. You can't do it's Cap. He's a Hydra agent. You can't do that. It just has to be Captain America. Sometimes you just have to give the people what they want. It's coming for a hug. But that's all you have to do. And the real challenge is how you navigate him and Sam Wilson, who to their biggest flaw has only had one adventure as Cap by the time we're going to see these other Avenger movies, because he needed to be, when they were doing their big stuff, when we had Infinity War and Endgame, Cap had been the leader of the Avengers, doing all kinds of stuff, doing solo missions long enough that we knew him as a character. I mean, we know Falcon, but we didn't know Sam Wilson is Captain America outside of Brave New World. And maybe that won't be awesome. It looks like it's gonna be good, but Hydra Cap is a terrible idea, and I hope they do not do that, because the shock value is not going to be worth the grief they get from it.
Yeah, and it's sort of already been done. It already had a pretty bad reception at the time. You know what I mean? Like you got to learn from the history of that, because again, there are reasons why these things happen. Jeff, I know you got to go, but before we say goodbye to Jeff, let's do a quick reaction to this next segment. If you want to bring up the screen there, Steve. So the Frazetta girls, who I had the pleasure of interviewing, Sarah Frazetta, one of the principals of the company, they are doing, and these are her words, not mine. Okay, they're doing a really thick, thick version of Vampirella, and people are losing their minds. I'm surprised it got to this point, to be honest with you, because but I'm not actually surprised, because their version of Tigra also sort of had, again, really, really wonderful design aesthetics. And to be honest with you, and when Jeff, myself, and Steve were talking about this earlier, it's interesting to see a toy company not afraid to take certain risks in today's environment, in today's market, especially because, again, this is the nature of the character. So why not just dive into it? And again, it's so great that the Frazetta girls are doing this, because I'm stepping on some eggshells here, but basically, I think the criticism will not be as harsh as if it was another company doing this. I'll put it that way. You guys can read into that as far as you'd like. So take a look at this, guys. This is kind of crazy. First of all, this one was sculpted by Eamon O'Donoghue, who also did Tigra, and she's freaking crazy. But again, when you actually look at the character, by the way, it is available for pre-order right now. $101. Don't sleep on this. It's gonna.
Oh, I looked at it here, and it was $70, and I saw the 101. Like, what the heck just happened? So
That's Canadian.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's our pretty money. Our pretty
Sorry,
money.
sorry. Yeah, it's the funny money. I don't even know how to change it though. That's where
you're trying to change the cash?
I was trying to change it,
Oh,
but you know what? Don't worry about it. It's $70 US, everybody.
Yeah.
The Canadian funny money, it's 101. But yeah, seriously, this is one thick Vampirella. I mean, my God, look at those hips, look at those curves. Wow. So again, Jeff, I know you got to go, but for thoughts on Vampirella, this version right now.
So right now on my should fell over because the heels don't work all the time. I have Goblin Queen, and I did like this whole video when we saw the HasLab. This is of course X-Men 97 version, so it's like neutered down even further, even not as accurate as she appeared on the cartoon. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can walk to you can be in the mall and you can see someone that looks like that. And I don't know when it became this in vogue thing for toy companies to go, all female figures need to look like this. And people have different body types. And I don't know why the voluptuous one is taboo. Kids aren't buying $25 action figures. They're not buying $50 action figures. They care more about the latest Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, whatever. They're not buying figures. So the moms and dads that want to clutch their pearls, that's not a thing that exists. And I always think it's just so ridiculous when we have these neutered down figures of female characters. It's not like Hercules looks like he needs to work out. I mean, getting a skinny Hercules would be stupid. So body type variations are great. And this is cool. I think this is more what we need to see from companies. It's just because like everybody's not like built like LeBron James or The Rock or you and me, Jay, or Steve. We all look different. And I don't think we need to shy away from that with these figures. And I think doing that is goofy. And just like I don't want a Black Panther and Wonder Man sharing the same buck, I don't want to see Vampirella and Kitty Pryde sharing the same buck too. So having some distinction makes sense, and nothing wrong with that at all. So I'm glad somebody's doing it, and Vampirella is definitely a character where, I mean, this is what you would think of if you're buying a Vampirella figure. So she's just, baby got back the opposite in Bizarre World. That would make no sense. So getting this one, solid stuff.
Absolutely. Steve, what are your thoughts on the character?
Well, I made the off-color joke that she was a snow bunny with this kind of body type, and basically she embraces the character. Like if you read the Vampirella comic books, they pair her with Lady Death for a lot of the Kickstarters, and that's what Vampirella sells, right? And so why wouldn't you have a doll, an action figure that kind of embodies what the character is? Like you just said it, you wouldn't want certain characters. Like, could you imagine a Luke Skywalker? And I think they did that where they had some Star Wars. Yeah. And they were absolutely buff. And I'm like, in what universe? The Jedi steroids, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it didn't make any sense. He injected him in his ass, I guess. But like when you look at the sculpt, it totally works. And if you look at Frank Vazetta's work, right? It was the same kind of thing. We talked about Heavy Metal last week. That's what those books are selling. So why wouldn't the toys reflect that? And as you said, Jeff, no kids buying this, right? No kids, delivering a newspaper and then going to get their paper route money to buy the latest Vampirella with the cheeks and the cakes. It's not going to happen. So this is great. I'm totally behind it. And also too, we always talk about how the head sculpts are kind of sus, right? These head sculpts look pretty good.
No, these are absolutely incredible. And there's a comment in the comment section about is Vampirella thick? And you know what? To that I have to say, well, I mean, this is supposed to be Emma Frost, and to a certain degree, it is Emma Frost. But I mean, like, this is what we're talking about, right? Like, for some reason, we're not allowed to have slave Leia. I said slave Leia. We're not allowed to have what's it called, the Goblin Queen, right? We're not allowed to have Madeline Pryor, right? I mean, Jeff just showed the Madeline Pryor we got, right? She's literally like absolutely covered up, but now we have a company that's actually going out there and saying, no, it's okay, we can have a Vampirella like this, and in a lot of ways this is more covered up than their first offering, which was Tigra. Let's see if we can. Oh, that didn't work. Hold on. Tigra was even more risque, if you will. Like, and again, this is the work of Frank Frazetta, right? So I'm trying to get to it. Did you guys watch Fire and Ice when you were kids?
I did.
No.
Yeah, great. It was a rite of passage. Where is it? Come on, Fire and Ice. Here we go. There she is. So I mean, this is Tigra, and I made the assertion that this is probably going to be a lot of people's slave Leia, because again, we can't get slave Leia, right? So customizers are going to come and grab this figure, and they're going to do what they need to do with her, because again, there's arguably there's less here than what Vampirella is wearing in a lot of ways. I don't know. What are your thoughts, guys? Because I think she's wearing actually a lot less.
Oh, definitely.
I think someone's going to sound clip what you just said, Jay, and use that.
Yeah.
Customers are going to do what they want to do.
You're gonna get memed. You're gonna get memed pretty hard.
Oh, that's okay. You know what? There's a lot of customizers literally do what they have to do. So.
But I can totally see it, right? Like, because everyone just wants the base to be able to kind of add and subtract whatever they want to customize their figures. So I can totally see it, especially if they're not getting what they want from the actual companies.
Well, let me remind you, everybody. Keep talking, Steve. But I can remind everybody what the only slave Leia looks like right now.
Yeah.
Jeff already knows this because I'm making a point to keep saying this. So, if you will, that is a version, if you will. This is possibly a version of slave Leia, right? Instead of what we got. The only, and this will never be replicated, by the way. So, Steve, you want to bring us back? Steve, you want to bring us back?
Hang on a second.
Yeah, like that. If you want to drag me over to you, and you can isolate me.
Wait, hold on a second. My mouse is not working. There, we'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only slave Leia we have in 6-inch scale.
I had that figure proudly displayed on my Return of the Jedi section.
She's desperately in need of an upgrade, and I can guarantee you now that if you bring back the screen, a lot of people are going to upgrade this from using this. Okay, using this, because that is probably what's probably going to happen. I mean, like. Seriously, and again, I applaud the Frazetta girls for taking this step. I mean, it's the human body, for crying out loud.
Exactly. It's not a one size fits all kind of thing, and it's just
Steve, yeah, we all went to art class. We've all had to draw. The nude males, nude females. Don't be afraid, okay? It's okay.
But this is what you would find on the beach. Right? Like I don't see what the big deal is.
You find worse on the beach now.
Right? If anyone's on a beach in Sao Paulo, they're like going, "What's the big deal?
Hey, why is she wearing so much?" Yeah, it's so goofy. And yeah, the fact that we have to talk about it is wild, because again, kids aren't buying action figures. They tap out the moment they get introduced to a video game and a tablet. That's it. They're not going back to get figures. And if we're worried about that, I mean, if you're trying to sell to adults are like, come on, what are you talking about? So weird.
Yeah, they like and even the expression on Leia, on slave Leia, I was like, who approved that? It was like she was being asked a question, like, huh? What?
Well, Java, I think this change doesn't. Yeah,
Oh my god.
that was when it was like time for the Black Series to call it, because the first series had really great sculpts, but then after that, it was. Whew, I think she was in series 3 with that terrible Obi-Wan Kenobi that they still haven't replaced yet. But yeah, it was hard, rough times there.
At risk of a warning here. I mean, this is a real bathing suit. That is a real bathing suit.
You're not gonna find that on a figure.
No.
that is just crazy. That is just absolutely great. And you probably will. There are somebody's going to make this one eventually. But I mean, honestly, there's way more here than there is there, and that's a real bathing suit. Like that's just crazy. And of course, Vampirella herself. I mean, she's wearing so much more.
She's got her collar flared out.
Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy.
Popping her collar.
But again, that is her costume. That's the character.
It is.
If you added anything else to her, it would not be authentic.
Yeah.
If you threw in the cape, but yeah.
So
yeah.
The question of the day: $70. Steve, what are your thoughts?
If you're a Vampirella fan, I think order more than one. I think it's great. I love the sculpt, the attention to detail, the paint is great. Yeah, I even like the posability.
Oh yeah, no, she's amazing. They actually, if you look at this is amazing too. Their articulation point here is actually hidden.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually it's only when you actually really move it around that it really breaks the illusion. But Eamon O'Donoghue has tried very hard to hide all those articulation points because he truly feels that aesthetics are more important than articulation. Which there's arguments to that. There really are. But at the end of the day, he's done something pretty incredible, I think. Jeff, what are your thoughts? $70.
If I was a big Vampirella fan, there's another company that's doing their kind of, what is the character that a lot of people are using as an Emma Frost stand-in? And I'm like, yeah, I could definitely see that. So if I dug Vampirella like that, I'd be all over this figure. It's a really nice sculpt. Got enough movement. I mean, she doesn't need to be doing kick flips on people, but she looks great. And yeah. I mean, that's the going rate for this kind of risque figure. So I think that's solid.
Yeah. I think it's Coffin Collectibles.
Oops.
Yeah, I think it's not.
I think you're right, Jay. I think you're right.
It's one of the other ones. Yeah, here. There she is.
Yes, Chaotica.
Yes. Yeah, Chaotica. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Again, whoa, geez. At the risk of being thing,
man,
but no, it's exactly it. There are companies now who are being very brave in terms of what they're starting to offer.
How is that not Emma Frost?
That is basically Emma Frost.
Exactly. Just clip the moon, charge away, and there you go.
Yeah, that's Emma Frost, man. Lord. Okay.
Yeah, and she's got the longer hair too. The actual all the way to the small of her back, right? She's even got the magic circles. So again, she works, right? It is. I love the way they have the freaking sticker right here. What the heck? This is their own website. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, this is again, they're trying to match what they saw on Frank Frazetta's work, and yeah, man, it's crazy what's happening with toys right now. Just absolutely bonkers. I think she's a great figure. I already have Tigra, and she's incredible. I'm not really a Vampirella fan though, just like what you guys are alluding to. So I don't know if I'm going to be adding this to my collection, but in terms of what she represents and who she is for fans of Vampirella, yeah, I think it's a home run. And it's a great nod to the character and a great nod to the source material and everything like that, right? So great stuff. And again, there are more riskier. There's riskier stuff out there. there really is. So awesome stuff. Jeff, do you have to go? Because
gotta run out. Yeah.
No, this was great. It was great having you.
Thanks. And anytime, guys, just let me know.
Jeff, how can people reach you? And what are you working on right now?
Hopefully I'm gonna get my X Factor video done. Dan during the last Marvel Legends said, "Hey, we got this X Factor Cyclops. If you want more X Factor figures, let us know." Yes, I've only been clamoring for them for years. But yeah, I'm working on a long form video breaking down why X Factor is so cool and needs more Marvel Legend figures. So I'm doing that, doing my Saturday live, talking about all the figure news from the week, and gonna do a movie watch along on some Christmas theme movie over on Lyle's Movie Files. So check out the channel. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right.
Always great.
You're
to see
always
you,
welcome
Jeff.
here.
Thanks.
Absolutely. All right, Jeff. We'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out, Jeff.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Take care.
Always great hanging out with Jeffrey of Lyle's Figure Files. Guys, definitely check out Lyle's Figure Files on YouTube and check out Lyle's Movie Files. Apparently, he's got a whole bunch of movie reviews he's got coming up, and that's going to be a lot of fun too. Wow, Steve.
Look, I couldn't even keep up with the comments. They were like rapid fire.
It was impossible. Thank you guys for all the amazing comments, and
yeah,
it seems like a couple of you guys were flaming each other, which is fine. Just keeping it civil, guys. So it's always great to see you guys interacting. Good friend of the channel, DFH Studios is in the house. Check Del Morgado himself.
Nothing to beat the adult figures that were made years ago, where their clothes came off. I have the whole set.
Thank you, Del. Always great. And like I said, there are companies out there that are doing a lot of great work. I mean, seriously, come on. We need Steve, we need an upgrade, man. I'm literally I'm gonna get another Tigra. I'm gonna make myself a
I can't lie, that Leia is like she was like in a Seinfeld episode, and she's like, why do I have to share screen time with George or something? Like she's just questioning her existence.
Bro, her dude, she's got that I need you to help me. Please kill me. I mean,
Yeah, it's basically please kill me. That's definitely the look that she's got.
Oh my God.
Now you said you had teased that you had something to share with us.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I've seen it, and it's pretty cool.
Sure. Well, let me bring up a couple of things since everybody's here on the chat. Thank you, Steve, for
worries.
Reminding me, because I do forget these things. It's been a couple months, and I've been working on this for quite some time, guys. My good friend Danny Green and myself have been working on a couple of new projects. One of them is a new channel. What the heck? Hold on. There we go. And come on. We're calling the channel That Figures, which actually we might change the name of it, but it was a good idea at the time. And what we're doing here is we want to really highlight some of the best new and upcoming figures, as well, in particular, for toy photography and dioramas. We're very excited about dioramas. We've met a lot of great creators over the last couple of years, and we really wanted to highlight some of their great work. So as you can see here in the some of the videos we've already put together, we really wanted to highlight some of the best figures that are out there right now, including Hush Batman, great figure overall, incredible, raises the bar quite a bit. We wanted to highlight Odious, as you can see here. So, Hush Batman, total game changer. Odious over here is setting the bar really, really high as an actual brand new figure by another Toy Tuber creator. So great stuff. And of course, as I said earlier, we really want to take a look at some of the amazing dioramas that are being created by incredible customizers and guys who are really just passionate about miniature dioramas and action sets, and really get people into the idea that you can start doing toy photography and really building out some great sets with newer figures, and also introducing brand new independent companies like Delta 17 and again some of the wonderful work. I mean, Steve, it's Jane Subway Station.
Yes, look at that.
And as a matter of fact, I wanted to actually take this opportunity to show a really quick clip of one of the things we've been working on. So let me just pull that up for Steve, and we'll take a really quick look at something that you guys can look forward to for this for what we're doing right now. So let me bring up. Let's see how Batman and Odious get along with each other.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to enjoy this.
Yeah, Steve, whenever you're ready.
Who are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
Boy, I run my city like it's Gotham. In a back cave, I've been plotting. Before I make a move with the options. Don't move, you get popped with your roster. Yeah, I got the juice. Getting rich, I feel like Bruce. I got the juice. Getting rich, I feel like Bruce.
Look, I've been ill, guess I'm terminal now. Like Mr. Freeze, I give him chills with the words that I spout. Listen, things ain't been sweet since I was scored as a child. Think I'm joking, $150, get a permanent smile. My chick, crazy and loyal, call her Harley Quinn. One side, know it's crunch time when they call them in. Two-Face, you tried to hold me on my splits, you get one cut. Straight down the middle, that's a Harvey Dent. Yeah, I stay cautious, I ain't heard of trust. The ones that you open up to, believe you opened up. Whether it's a hop or the league, I'm prepared for any issue that I see. Tell them what's up.
Boy, I run my city like it's Gotham. In a back cave, I've been plotting. Before I make a move with the options. Don't move, you get popped with your roster. Yeah, I got the juice. Get rich, I feel like Bruce. I got the juice. Get rich, I feel like Bruce.
Yo, back pulling hoes, dressed in all black. Bullets couldn't penetrate my suit while I'm out of getting Catwoman acting two-faced. You gon' find out how the tools taste. Put you in a pit, you gon' be getting rich.
So that was Batman versus Odious. Two brand new figures. Hush Batman was about a year ago or so. But we really want to highlight some of the great diorama work that's been done, as well as some of the action figures. And here's another video, which I think a lot of you guys will enjoy. This one highlights, let me just remove the other one. Oh, hold on to that. This one actually highlights a brand new action figure O-rings. And these ain't your daddy's G.I. Joes. So if any of you guys remember O-rings, G.I. Joes are O-rings, and that's actually why this wonderful toy line exists. And I hope you guys enjoy this, because this one's a lot of fun too. Check it out.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine.
Sir, it's Shepard.
This is Preacher.
This is Shepard. What's your situation?
We're en route ETA 5 minutes.
Copy that.
So far, so good.
Let's hope it stays that way.
I'm playing straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.
They call me a
What I'd give for a drag.
I thought you quit.
I did. Let's keep moving.
Like a walk in the park.
Spoke too soon. Shepard, come in.
Get back here, Preacher. We've got company.
Yeah, we're doing our best to highlight multiple creators and new action figure lines. So, guys, if you're interested, check out that figures on YouTube. It's a brand new channel. Steve, you just want to bring that one up quickly. And we're doing a lot of work. If anybody out there is a customizer or a diorama maker, we would love to highlight some of your stuff. Definitely get in contact with us. Yes, Nolan, 100%. They are incredible figures, and we are very, very happy. We have several episodes with the Delta 17 crew, and why not just order a NECA diorama? I'm sure they will make it. Oh, that is a sick burn, Slambuster Dan. Wow, wow, that's twisting the knife there, brother. Holy crap! For those of you who don't know, NECA sent out dioramas to several people who did not order them, and now they're subtly very, very harsh language. Sorry, very strong language, asking people to give them back. So yeah, it's an interesting situation with NECA, but we love NECA. Obviously, they're just trying to do right by everybody who's out there, because a lot of people have not received their dioramas. So I like to look at it that way. I think that they're trying their best, but they're doing it very heavy-handed. So in a lot of ways, it's kind of rubbing people the wrong way. And of course, Slambuster Dan has not. He's one of those poor individuals who has not received his Donatello Lab, and that's the real tragedy in all of this, guys. Like
how long are the delays?
I think it took forever to get them out, and now I think that it's been a month and a half, and still either have not received their. Some people like Slambuster Dan have not received their sets, and it's looking like NECA is reluctant to print out another set. I think that's really the biggest problem. I think it's going to cost a lot of money because from the inside looking out, it's going to cost a lot of money for them to spin up the press. The size of these dioramas are huge, so each one I think just barely covered the cost of making them. So I think that their margins are very, very thin on this one. So it's a very tough situation all around. But those people deserve their dioramas, and unfortunately, my anecdotal understanding of the law, if you receive something, it's technically yours. I mean, like that's as again my anecdotal understanding. Possession is 9/10 of the law, apparently.
So, kind of hard to get it back, especially
it is.
You don't know who you sent it to.
Yeah, well, no, they know exactly who they sent it to because they have the shipping manifest, right? And that's the problem. They're right now they're sending out emails to everybody in very, very strong language, not suggesting, literally telling everybody you have to give it back, right? And the way they're going about it is rubbing everybody the wrong way. The fans are not happy. I don't think that the management is happy either. But at the end of the day, it's something that they have to fix. They have to figure out what they want to do, what they have to do, right? And it's a very, very the whole situation is just all bad, right? So they really have to figure it out. But guys, please check out Figure Me. We're working very hard on it. Would appreciate everybody if they took a look at the videos and give me your feedback. I would love to find out what you guys think about the new direction, the feedback, the videos themselves, and how we can improve. I'm always looking for suggestions on how we can improve the experience and some of the things. What are you guys looking for? What should we review next? That's actually a really big question I want to ask next as well, in a lot of ways. So guys,
I have a question.
Sure.
Where did you get those wonderful TTC dioramas? Because I saw one of those at an art exhibition on Rossville, not far from me, and they had, oh gosh, I think they had Castle Frank or one of the other stations. I personally would love a Finch because that was the subway station that I went to when I was a kid. But yeah, those are great. If you can get those custom, I would love to order one.
Yes, we do have. So that one actually is very custom. It is actually created by a local diorama maker. If that wasn't obvious, that was made by our good friend Noah of Mega City Minis. I'll just bring up his website right now. Well, not his website, sorry, his Instagram page.
I wonder if that was the same artist.
It might be. It might be the same artist. You never know. So here it is. There is the Jane subway station.
I like how ratchet it looks.
Yeah, this is before the renovations, right? He even goes through the whole process of how
nice.
He goes through the whole process of how we actually made it 100%. And don't get me wrong, it at one point it was kind of getting ratty. You know what I mean? And then they did the whole thing. He even put gravel down.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's an incredible diorama. Up close and personal. It's absolutely crazy. You can see all the trash on the ground. It's just absolutely stunning. And of course, if you guys want to see if you want to look at the actual video, we did a whole video on the diorama itself. I'll give you guys a quick preview about it, and you guys can take a quick look at this one.
It looks like the Escape from New York version of Jane Station.
Absolutely. So it might not run that smoothly here because we're running video on top of video,
right?
But yeah, you can take a look at the. I mean, it is a beautiful diorama, and I encourage you guys to take a look at the video. We even have some lighting tips on how you can make the dioramas really pop, because this diorama is definitely one of a kind. And bravo to Noah and over at Mega City Minis. He did a bang up job. Obviously, if you've been to Toronto and you've actually it's very, very accurate.
Wow, the Toronto Star, the McDonald's, the medium fries or small fries holder. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's even got a pack of cigarettes from Marlboro.
Yeah, you got some darts in a package there. That's not bad.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, guys, definitely check it out. Again, we have some lighting tips on giving some really deep atmosphere to your dioramas just by adding some different color lights.
Right.
And it's like you turn the lights out, you turn them back on with some really high intensity LED lights, and it just gives this whole new sense, new atmosphere to the set itself. And you can just add another light, give it some more atmosphere, and you're 100% telling a story. So yeah, guys, definitely check out Noah over at Mega City Minis. I mean, he's doing some amazing work right now. More like dioramas, some amazing stuff, and of course, like I said, he's working hard on a lot of the things that, and we want to highlight a lot of his work. You know what I mean? He's such a great artist, and that actually is the goal here, to actually highlight as many of the great artists that are out there who have not, they don't get enough love, man. They just don't get enough love, right? So definitely, guys, head over to Mega City Minis, give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay and Steve sent you, because really, a lot of these guys definitely need more accolades for sure. And then where did my screen go?
Hold on, Mother Slug. I thought when Steve was streaming Wednesday nights that this channel was going to be more about comic book talk. Now it's leading more to figures and other things beside comics. It's going to go back and forth. It depends on the week. We love our comics here, and so we'll be doing some comic stuff. Actually, we're going to be, I guess next week will be our best of 2024, and so we're going to dive into our favorite comics, but also too favorite movies and favorite streaming. And the thing with comics is it's everywhere, so it's not just what's on the page; it's what comes out of those pages and then turns into our lovely movies and stuff like that. So, and as well as figures.
So Mother Slug, I don't know if you came in later, but the first half was all comic books. That's all we were talking about.
Yeah, it was all Invincible.
We were all talking about Invincible. We were talking about
Battle Beast,
right? The Battle Beasts, right? We're talking about that was, so go back and watch the first half of the episode, because I think that's probably what you were hoping for. And now we're just winding down and looking at some really cool dials that I wanted to highlight, and taking a little bit of a time. And of course, we're simul streaming actually. I guess Jeff is showcasing this video on his channel, which thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been an amazing ride. I also did want to do one more thing, if I may, Steve, just before we log off.
For sure. We got a couple minutes left before we call it a night.
Yeah. So if you want to just blank out the appreciate that. So the music videos were done by incredible they were produced and put together by a good friend of the channel, Reed, and he gifted me this amazing Baguette Club hoodie, and
that's cool.
This is actually pretty neat. Now, it's my understanding that these are actually NFTs. I don't exactly know how that works, but you guys should definitely check these out. They're wonderful designer hoodies, and it's a blind bag. It's a blind bag hoodie, right?
And it's an NFT. I thought an NFT was something virtual.
Well, there's the key, and I need to learn more about how that works. But if you could full screen me, I'd like to show some of the available blind bag options, because you pick this up. I think there's an NFT attached to it, and then you also get to pull one of these unique hoodies. It could be any one of these. I don't know what's inside, but you could possibly pull, the black hoodie, which has Baguette Club and this wonderful mascot on the back there. You could pick up the orange one, which looks freaking dope. I think that thing looks amazing. You could also possibly open up the silver version, which looks sick. The cream version, which looks freaking amazing.
Yeah, I like the cream one.
Yeah, and you might also be able to pick up the yellow version.
Is that kind of like a mustard kind of color?
I think it's more of a very very nice mustard, very very similar to the Comics Asylum colors. I think.
Ah, okay. The orangey yellow kind of.
I think it's a bit of an orange. Yeah. I think it's more mustard than orange, but yes, I think you're right the first time. So as you can say, which one will you pull? Baguette Club limited edition, total supply. There are only 500. There are only 500 of these total. So as you can see here at the top, it says that there's 150 of the black hoodies. There's 125 of the orange hoodies.
Ooh.
100 of the cream hoodies. 125 of the silver hoodies, and there's only 50 of the. I gotta call it gold. I think gold hoodie is the one.
Sure.
Yeah. So, little disclaimer there for anybody who wants to read it. The Baguette Club does not support the use of tobacco products in any way, shape, or form. Art utilized for entertainment purposes only. So, yeah, there's a lot of fun. I'm looking for the website because I'm pretty sure I'll be able to pull it up, but doesn't have the website on here, which is odd. I thought it would have had the website on here, but apparently not. All right, so you want to take some? What are your thoughts, Steve? Which hoodie do you think I'll be pulling tonight?
You're gonna get a cream one.
I'm gonna get a cream one. I hope I get a cream one.
The cream one's nice.
There's only 100. There's only 100 of the cream ones. I hope I get a cream one.
Well, let's see how lucky you are.
I don't know my odds. I'm not good.
You're probably gonna get black just based on the odds.
I'm thinking it's either orange or black. I think it's either.
Yeah, it's like Wesley Snipes always bet on black, right?
Oh, hey, Leeds actually in the chat. Hey, what's going on, Lead? Good to see you, brother. If anyone's interested, these will be launching very very soon. So if anybody's interested in picking up one of these awesome hoodies,
nice.
These ones are going to be freaking awesome. So thank you guys.
Yeah, they look great.
All right. So
Slam Bus Rodan says you're getting black.
I'm pulling a black.
Mother Slug says cream is nice. Yeah.
Cream is a gorgeous.
That's probably my favorite one.
I think so too. I think the cream one is really really nice. Mm-hmm. I think it's really nice. And of course it's the second rarest one. So
hey, there you go.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's.
So I'm gonna give you a drum roll.
Yeah, that'd be great. So freshly baked. Product of the Baguette Club. Keep freshly packaged until you're ready to break the seal to reveal your product. All rights reserved for the Baguette Club 2024. All right, so here we go. This is actually really nice packaging too, Steve. I think I'll keep this as well.
Right, Passenger 57, absolutely Slam Bus, absolutely. Always bet on black.
Always bet on black. Not going to get any argument for Steve on that one.
Oh my God, that movie is a guilty pleasure. Without a doubt.
Do I need a pair of scissors? What am I doing here?
Probably.
Oh no!
Although it looks like it's resealable.
Maybe it is. Hold on.
You got to be like Tobey Maguire when he's holding back the train. Just got to pull, man.
Okay, I think I got it. All right, so here we go, guys. Want to full stream it again, Steve? We can show the full reveal. Let's get this. Not that I'm vain or anything. I'm totally vain. I want this. This is my moment. This is my moment. Okay, ready? All right.
There we go.
All right. I haven't looked inside. Let's see what I got, everybody. Open it like a bag of chips. Okay. All right. Ready? What the hell?
Well, black bag. So...
It's a black bag blind box. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. The suspense is killing me now. Hold on.
All right, now comes the real deal. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, what you got in there?
It's got a zip. It's got a zip tab.
Okay. High quality packaging. You're gonna have to keep this, man.
I know. Luckily, it's extra large. This is freaking.
You got to keep the packaging, my man.
This is actually really nice.
Yeah.
The quality, even on the packaging, it's freaking crazy. The first one was a silver lined bag. This one's got like a matte texture finish. This is an incredible amount of quality here, guys. Like, Steve, when we're ready to do apparel, we got to talk to these guys for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, all right, so here we go. This is the real reveal. Apparently, the first reveal was a tease.
All right, what do we got there? What do we got? Reach in there.
All right, I'm reaching in. Right. This is gonna be the quick one because like the other one was ruined. All right, ready? 3, 2. I can't. Where's the grip here? It's so smooth. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God!
Great.
It's a silver one.
Silver one. Nice.
It's a silver one. Oh, jeez. Oh my God.
Very nice.
Dude, this is crazy. Oh my God. It's got raised lettering.
I was just asking if that's raised.
Yeah, it's got a wonderful raised texture. And
that's great.
The quality's wow, the quality's really nice. Holy crap. What's this? Oh crap. I'm supposed to scan this. There's a game. I think there's a gaming component attached to this.
That's cool.
I might actually. Maybe I'll win $100. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. I don't know what the rules are. But apparently, oh shoot, I'm gonna have to fuzz that out now.
Oh, that's true.
Nobody scanned that.
The beauty of technology.
Gosh darn it! Nobody scanned that, you bastard. Oh my God! Oh sheesh! Look at this. Look at that, Steve.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh my God!
It looks like it feels really comfy.
Oh, dude,
just by the texture of the material from what I'm getting from your screen.
Oh, wow! Wow! Look at this, Steve. This is a
That's nice.
That's not just a patch.
No, that looks like it's felt or rubber or something.
No, it's rubber.
Nice.
It's a right. Oh wow! It smells like an action figure. Holy crap! But check this out. What?
Yeah, that's
at that.
That's pretty sweet.
Oh my God, that is sick. What does it say there, Steve? I can't read it.
No regrets, or maybe it says regrets collect baguettes. Oh yeah, no regrets collect baguettes. A community of baguettes, cigars, blunts, joints, and baguettes.
What?
There we go.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
I can still read cursive, so I hope I got that right.
This is nuts. This is nuts. All right, I'm gonna put this on, Steve, really quickly.
Oh, wait a second. Lead designer says there's an NFC chip.
No way.
Inside the patch.
No way.
Yeah.
That thing has technology in it.
That's
Are you serious?
That's some James Bond. That's a James Bond hoodie right there, man.
So does this give discounts or something on like if I go to conventions or something? That'll be sick. That'll be awesome.
Slambus wants to see if there's joints in the bag, so you might want to check it.
When you meet somebody, do you guys like put your arms together and you form Voltron? Like, is that what happens here? That'll be sick too. That's freaking awesome, man. That's awesome. So I'm pretty safe.
Whoa!
With the QR
check
code.
this. AR filters will be released to communicate with the hoodie graphics to bring them to life. Wow, that's like a Minority Report. That's a Minority Report kind of styles there.
That is so cool. Holy crap!
That's neat.
That is freaking awesome. All right, I'm gonna. Why don't you begin to sign off there? Actually, I want to give a huge shout out to the Baguette Club for gifting me this. Can you pull up the Baguette Club on like let's get their website because the website's not here.
Yeah, hang on a second.
Let me see if this is the website. Hold on. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe this is just the QR code for the website. Lee, is this the QR code for the website? Let me see here. Where's my QR reader? Yep, there they are. You got it. Guys, head over to the Baguette Club. Is it baguetteclub.com? What is it, Steve?
It's baguetteclub.wtf.
Okay, can you put that in the chat? That way people can.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy and paste it right now.
Yeah, while Steve is doing that, I'm gonna put this on. See how it looks. We're not gonna be able to get the full Monty here, but wow, this is one heavy. Okay, for Canadians, this is great because this is actually a really nice hoodie.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, so this is like techwear. Also, the patch is an open-ended NFC chip, so it can be reprogrammed to be used as a social media link or anything you want. That's great.
I got my my Sith. No, actually, it's more like a Jedi hoodie.
Nah, yeah.
Look at that.
That's nice.
It's my mono eye right here.
You look like Cyclops now.
Absolutely. To me, my X-Men.
Yes. Looks good.
Dang, this is nice. Holy crap. I'm gonna be
good color on you. The color works on you, man.
I'm gonna be warm this winter time because it's gonna apparently we're gonna get what is it again? We're gonna get like 60 centimeters of snow tomorrow in upper Canada, upper Ontario.
Okay, I don't have my winters on yet, bro.
Not near the horseshoe.
Not the GTA. Okay.
No, not near the horseshoe. Not near the horseshoe. Guys, definitely check out the baguetteclub.wtf. This hoodie's amazing. Lead, what's the MSRP on these? If you're okay with that. I don't know if you can tell us right now, but I think a lot of people would love to learn more about the Baguette Club.
Mm-hmm.
Because come on, man, look at that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Shoot. This is huge thanks and shout out to the Baguette Club for this amazing technology-ridden. Apparently, like I said, I go up to another Baguette Club user and I just like tap this and we join forces. All right. So Lead says we'll be announcing everything shortly. MSRP on this thing. Again, I want to flash up how rare these are because apparently I got one which is at least a little bit more rare than the black. All right. One more time just to give everybody an idea as to the rarity of these. Because they are pretty rare. Oh shit! Actually, I got the third rarest on the line. So
there you go.
Black is the most common at 150, and that's not that common. So I got black at 150. We got orange at 125. We've got the one I'm wearing right now is only 125 of these. So I'm wearing number 125.
Mm-hmm.
The cream one, which everyone loves, is 100. So hopefully you guys get the 100. And then the ultra rare gold or yellow version is only 50 pieces. It's limited edition. Freaking crazy. They actually all got names. I didn't know this. This one's called the Baker's Club.
Yes.
So I am wearing the Baker's Club. Then there's the baguette version.
Vision.
Yeah, Vision. Sorry, Baguette Vision. Then the Invisible Baguettes for the orange.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the community hoodie. Great stuff. Wow, this is awesome. All right, once again, huge shout out and thank you to the Baguette Club for this. Absolutely awesome. Freshly baked, guys. I'm only half baked, but these ones are freshly baked.
Jay, Slambus Rodan has a question for you before we sign off.
Yes, sir.
Before we sign off, sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah. What did you hear about NECA's reward program for people who spent $400 a year? So I watched the Mad Hatter's review on that, his take on it, and I got to tell you, I am very much on the same train as him. I think it's a veiled. I think it's a veiled reminder. I'll put it that way. It's a veiled reminder to everybody to return those dioramas, because if you don't return them, you're going to miss out on a lot of the exclusive, rewards that are in that club. So if you're not in good standing, as far as NECA deems it, you will be missing out on all those, first round buys, special limited edition figures, all this crazy stuff. And you know what? You have to be in good standing. So return those dioramas. So
yeah.
Oh, what
Good
a
luck
night!
on them.
Dude.
Yeah, no, this was great. It was awesome having Jeffrey in and getting to chop it up about Invincible and Chris Evans, and then the Vampirella action figure is great. Yeah, it was a great show. Great show all over. And thank you to everyone. The comments were like rapid fire. It was like warp speed, you know.
It was crazy.
So sorry we didn't get to everyone's, but thank you for to everyone who contributed, and we really appreciate you guys tuning in and just making the show what it is.
Yeah, thank you guys for always being here. We're always going to go live around Thursday nights at 10 o'clock. So guys, definitely
Wednesdays.
Sorry, Wednesday nights. Sorry, it says Thursday. It says Thursday nights.
Yeah, it's because we flipped over.
Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock. We had a great time tonight. Jeff was here, and we hope to have Jeff back. He's a wonderful contributor. He's got such a wonderful insight on the up and coming comics today. So it was really great to have him on the show, and it's such a great time. Always hanging out with you, Steve, and myself, and of course Jeff, and of course hanging out with you guys. Thank you guys for being here tonight, guys. Don't forget, please subscribe to Comics Asylum on YouTube and of course Instagram, as well as check out Comics Asylum on their website. If you for all the up-to-date news on comic books, everything to do with pop culture, movies, television, anything that you guys are interested in pop culture, head over to Comics Asylum. They are amazing, and of course, huge shout out to Steve, my good friend Steve, and of course, I hope you guys are doing well.
And well, wait a second, I'll figure it out.
It's the other.
There we go. There we go. Directionally challenged. And guys, check out Mega J's new channel. It Figures. I think is that what it's called?
Let's just bring it up one last time. Where it is? It's that Figures, and of course
that Figures. So check out the channel. They got some great content on there. Of course, anybody who hasn't subscribed to Mega J already, make sure you do that on Instagram as well as on YouTube. And we're going to be back next week in a short 7 days, and with more comic book stuff, more entertainment news, and we're going to do our 2024 retrospective next week. We're gonna be covering all the stuff that was good and some of the stuff that wasn't great. Maybe we'll get Jay to watch Kraven the Hunter, and he can give us our little mini review.
I'm looking forward to that. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, one last shout out to the Baguette Club. Thank you guys for this amazing hoodie. Guys, please check out the baguetteclub.wtf. It's a lot of fun. And apparently there's a lot of technology in this. And apparently I just got the notice that I can reprogram this thing to do some fun stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun too.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Remember, keep it indie. Have a great week, and we'll see you in 7.
Good journey, guys.